Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Shiri. Today, I will introduce to you some issues that need to be considered before immigrating, and what indicators and websites can be referred to. First, I want to talk about why do we leave our homes and immigrate to another strange country? What are the benefits of immigration for us? First, if we can immigrate to a developed country, we can seek better business opportunities and employment opportunities, find higher paying jobs and better benefits. The second is that we can improve and enhance our quality of life through immigration. This includes a better education system, better medical care, a safer social environment, or better public service facilities. Third, immigrants seek a living environment with political stability and human rights protection, and freedom and democratic rule of law. It can be said that political turmoil, war, political persecution, and human rights violations are one of the important reasons why many people choose to immigrate. How can there be development and a future in an unsafe society? So, many people want to flee those unsafe countries, seek a safe and secure country life. Fourth, immigration is to seek religious freedom or escape ethnic persecution. In some countries, there is religious persecution or persecution of minorities. These persecuted people long to be able to seek asylum in other countries. Fifth, immigration is for better educational or research opportunities. We can study at globally renowned academic institutions or universities, collaborate with outstanding professors and researchers, improve your academic standards. To give an example in this regard, Mr. Elon Musk, the world's richest man. Elon Musk, born in South Africa in 1971, and spent his childhood and youth there. In June 1989, Elon Musk immigrated to Canada to study. 2 years later, he transferred to the University of Pennsylvania in the United States, and received a bachelor's degree in economics and physics from the University of Pennsylvania in 1995. Imagine if Elon Musk did not go to the United States, but stayed in South Africa to develop. Will there be such a big achievement now? Sixth, for family reunification, which is also one of the important reasons for immigration. Seventh, in order to retire to a place with low cost of living and good medical conditions. The eighth reason is climate and environment. Most people still like to live in places with warm climates. Such an environment can provide better comfort and quality of life. It also benefits our health and improves our sense of well-being. Let me introduce to you the traditional immigrant countries, such as Canada. Canada is a country with a vast land area, rich resources, stable economic and political environment. Canada is famous for its excellent livable environment and diverse culture, as well as good educational environment and medical environment. Moreover, it provides a variety of immigration channels, including skilled immigration, family reunion and investment immigration, etc. Canada receives about 300,000 immigrants each year. In developed countries that accept immigrants, Canada's immigration threshold is relatively low. Moreover, Canada accepts a certain number of refugees every year, and those seeking political asylum. Australia. Australia is a country with pleasant climate, beautiful environment and diversity. Australia offers a variety of immigration options such as skilled immigration, investment immigration, and family reunification. The country is rich in natural resources and has a good quality of life. New Zealand. New Zealand is a beautiful and livable country. There are many ways for skilled immigration and investment immigration. Its education system is also highly regarded. United States. The United States is a diverse country that provides various immigration methods. Immigration pathways including employment immigration, family reunification, investment immigration, and asylum. The process of immigrating to the United States is relatively complicated, subject to strict review and application procedures. Germany is one of the largest economies in Europe. There is a high demand for highly skilled immigrants. The country provides a variety of channels such as skilled immigration, job hunting immigration, and entrepreneurial immigration. Singapore is a developed country in Asia. Provide immigration opportunities for professionals, investment immigrants, and high-skilled workers. The country has good employment and business opportunities in areas such as finance, technology, and education. There are more than 200 countries in the world. So how should we choose the country to immigrate to? I think to choose a safe country to immigrate. So how do we assess whether a country is safe? This is a very complicated question. Several factors need to be considered. First of all, it is to assess whether the political environment of the country is stable. Political stability is the foundation of a country's security. We can focus on the stability of the country's political system, government institutions, and the presence of large-scale political unrest, government corruption, civil war, or terrorism. The second is to assess the crime rate situation in the country. Crime rate is one of the important indicators to evaluate a country's security. We can do this by studying the country's crime statistics, including data on violent crime, economic crime, and organized crime, to judge the crime rate of the country. We can also take a look at the prison environment in that country, to judge whether the crime problem of the country is serious, and the degree of civilization of the country. For example, prisons in Japan, Singapore, and some Nordic countries. Prison facilities, prisoner food, and prisoner management. Not only are the conditions and facilities good, but they are also very user-friendly. On the contrary, in some backward countries, not only the facilities of the prisons are outdated, but also the management of the prisons is chaotic. Drug trafficking, gang fights, and inmate riots often occur in the prison. It can be said that the prisons of a country can reflect the degree of civilization of the country. To sum up, the higher the crime rate, it means that the safety factor of this country is low. Living in this country is likely to encounter some unexpected or unpredictable events. Then such a country should be avoided as much as possible. The third is to assess the extent to which a country is threatened by terrorist activities. We can study whether the country is frequently attacked by terrorists, the presence of activities of terrorist organizations, and indicators such as the government's anti-terrorism measures to judge the country's security level. The fourth is to assess the risk of natural disasters in this country. Some countries may face the threat of natural disasters, such as earthquakes, hurricanes, floods, fires, etc. We can study the country's geographical environment and climatic conditions, understand the frequency and severity of natural disasters. The fifth is to evaluate the country's foreign relations. Diplomatic relations can reflect a country's security situation. If the country has tense relations with neighboring countries or the international community, including territorial disputes, territorial sea disputes, border conflicts, and other issues, that would suggest that the country is unsafe or potentially unsafe. The sixth is to evaluate corruption perception index of civil servants and police in this country. Whether a country's civil servants and police are clean. It will directly affect social stability and economic development. In a country where corruption and embezzlement are rife, Developing an economy and a personal career is many times more difficult than in a country with good governance. Assessing whether a country is safe is a complex process. The source of the information and the accuracy of the information are also important. It is recommended to combine multiple reliable sources of information, including government reports, security assessments by international organizations, media reports, etc., to gain a comprehensive understanding of a country's security situation. If you plan to immigrate to a country or region, it is recommended to consult a professional immigration company or relatives and friends in that country. As the saying goes, seeing is believing, hearing is believing. Or take a field trip to the country for yourself. I think it's more reliable. After assessing the safety of a country, there are other factors to consider. Next, we can evaluate the stability and effectiveness of the social system. In the destination country for immigration, we can focus on factors such as the fairness of the judicial system, social security conditions, the social welfare system, the education system, and the quality of education to assess the social stability of the country. The third point is to evaluate the immigration policy of the immigration target country and the attitude of the government and nationals of that country towards immigrants, and whether they are friendly and tolerant towards immigrants. As far as I know, there are some arrogant countries that are very picky about immigrants. The fourth point is to assess the economic situation in this country, which is also very important. We can understand the country's GDP growth rate, inflation rate, employment rate and unemployment rate, and other indicators to help us understand the overall economic condition of the country. Furthermore, if we immigrate to this country in the future, will we be able to find a suitable job? The fifth point is to assess whether you can master the language of the destination country of immigrants proficiently. If you want to immigrate, you must learn the language of the immigration target country. This is very important for your future life and development in this country. The sixth point depends on whether it can adapt to the country's climate environment. For example, some countries like Canada and Northern Europe are geographically close to the North Pole, so the winter there is long and cold. My hometown is in the northeast of China, where the winter is also very cold. Therefore, heating is needed to keep the indoor temperature in winter. The annual heating cost is also a considerable expenditure. And like Ireland, where it rains a lot, I think most people still prefer to choose to live in warm and humid areas. The seventh point is to assess the cost of living in the destination country of immigration, including spending on housing, medical care, food, and transportation. At the same time, it is also necessary to understand the welfare system of the destination country of immigration, such as health insurance, social security and pension, etc. As far as I know, health insurance is mandatory in some countries. The eighth point is the tax system. Some developed countries in the West implement a system of high welfare and high taxation. Their high welfare policies are inseparable from high taxes. So, think about whether you can afford the high tax rates there. Next, let me introduce some index websites that you can refer to when immigrating. The first is the Global Peace Index. The Global Peace Index is a set of indicators used to measure the degree of peace in a specified country or region. The URL of this website can be searched in Google. The second is that the Democracy Index is compiled by the Economist Intelligence Unit. The index measures 5 indicators: electoral process and diversity, civil liberties, government functioning, political participation, and political culture. an index used to analyze the degree of democracy in 167 regimes around the world. The third is to check the websites of the annual average income of major countries in the world. And the URL can be searched in Google. The fourth is that Freedom House is a non-profit organization headquartered in Washington, D.C., and mainly funded by the U.S. federal government. The main content of its website is research on democracy, political freedom, and human rights. The fifth is a website to check prices in cities around the world. The name of the website is Numbeo. The website is www.numbeo.com/cost-of-living. The sixth is the websites of suicide rates in various countries in the world. This data is for reference only. There is no perfect country in this world. When choosing a country to immigrate to, the most important point is safety first. Don't immigrating to an unsafe country. The money is not earned and the people are gone first. That would be too bad a deal. Therefore, it is best not to immigrate to any country or region that is at risk of war or has a potential risk of war. Immigration is an important topic that needs in-depth research and comprehensive evaluation, and requires us to think carefully and make prudent decisions. The topic of today's discussion about what issues to consider before immigrating will end here. The main content of this video is taken from the internet. If there are any mistakes, please correct me. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.